What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C. And in this particular video, I will be reviewing She's Got a Habit, Season 1, Episode 3. Um, Shout out to my YouTube family, and let's get into this. Y'all, I thought maybe I could possibly do one more video after this, but I was a little tired, so after I upload this one, I probably, unless I feel like it tomorrow or something like that, it's already technically Saturday anyway night by the time this gets uploaded. But I probably will do in a couple days and pick up 4 or 5, and you know, if possible, maybe do 1 or 2 episodes, but kind of maybe finish the series next week or just next couple weeks. But anyway, y'all. Um, now we're picking up where we left off, where to see what was Mars, saying oh hell to no, yeah, he ends up having um fine, Nola follows him, and her bike as well, and he takes her to site. And all through her site, there you have this asshole is tagged, cunt, bitch, and everything on her. My name is not baby girl, but blah blah blah, and everything. So she and the tag named Onyx, and she again, this is violation because, and again, it's back to being, where you're hearing all these vulgar words and they're assaulting with words again. Whoever is doing this and destroying a purpose artist, demanding respect, and then somebody just destroys the art, which is destroying you. Like, but you're this, you're these horrible names, and such and such. And she goes and she kind of tells commentary. She's looking at the camera and she goes to the story how she kind of felt like when she started to develop her breast, and there's this one little a-hole that was half her age, and I guess during junior high or something like that, or before then, and he was teasing her, reminding her, and she would try to, wish him win whatever she could, but they were there, and he would remind her and make her feel uncomfortable. There was a single mom was saying like, words don't hurt you, don't give them that power. But words sometimes sometimes they're more powerful than the action itself. And people are like, well, I thought this person was going to do this or blah, blah, blah. Or they can be extremely just as hurtful as physical action, Or, if you say the right words, you can fool people to seem like you're a good person or something like that. You have good intentions. God figuring it all, And, but and then their words that they can be powerful. I know the old saying, sticks and stone make break my bones never hurts, but words can hurt. They can be mean and crucial, and at times, and like you can hurt somebody with words. You can't, and sometimes without even doing the action, but the action speaking the words out into existence, mean and evil things, whether it's a stranger or someone you love or you dearly thought loves you back, or a person that you least expect can do so. So in this case of her feeling where she was, and she's having this something, Mars is trying to make her feel better, but he's going to investigate. Later on in the scene, he, of course, is not telling anybody, but he's saying, like, look at the artwork, even though some BS is on here. His co-workers, he's like, look at the artwork. I did notice this time that Nola was on her computer. Later on, she has a computer at home, Apple, because all Apple products, and has a laptop as well. So, like I said, that shuts me up right there. She may not have a flat screen TV, but she is up with, the current latest technology. So, she, like I said, she feels some type of way, and she, like I said, she still feels like, she's being violent. So she decides to finally take the advice to go see a therapist, which I first didn't know. I knew that woman looked so familiar, but then I know it was Heather Headley. It's playing the character of the therapist that Nola sees. Actually, if you've seen the movie, I gotta bring that up again, and you see that she also went to go see a therapist, but it seemed like it was more of a disconnect as opposed to what is in the film. Well, like I said, Spike Lee's wife, I think her name is Tanya Lee, and there's a couple other writers that are women that it seem like there's more women involved, paying attention to the opening credits than there was probably the movie, So she's talking, and she's actually like knows that even she's commentary explaining herself, but she said of course she can't give her patients information, but she knows that Nola is like basically she sees the potential and the positive things from Nola, even though she's going through stuff. Nola's talking to her, in a couple minutes she's already back to crying, and Heather's character's like, I understand, you've been violated twice, First, now this is the second person that now knows that she's doing this graffiti artwork. She was like, first, being physically attacked and then with your art. And, to make a long story short, they have a little talking to the Justin is, do some exercise, get something at least to relieve, the stress or whatever. Um, but and she does explain a little bit that she does have multiple men in her life. But like I said, it was a short little conversation, and she does say, even buy a little bag, buy a little something, blah blah blah. So she takes Cleo with her to this place to go get something. I'm not going to go through everything right now because the focus was on LBD. I think every title of episode is a hashtag and a name. So that stands for Little Black Dress, which we're about to find out what the hell that is and why it's so important. Now she took the doctor's advice and decides to take like Chloe with her, and they go to the store, which I would have turned my in real life. I would have turned in at least smart ass comic. Fuck your damn store went out because here's what happened. Now, she sat there about to buy, they just, as soon as they come in the store, you just see one girl, one lady, young girl, I'm just going to call one young girl, who happens to be white, which was, and they call her, come to the store, and they're like, hello, and, no, let's look at one particular item. It's just a little bit out of place, like that, like it was just sticking out right here, and it was supposed to be right here, but she goes right behind Nola to straighten out, the one thing, like you're like, oh my gosh, a nigger touched it. That's pretty much what she was giving me, okay? And I was surprised she didn't come. If she could put some plastic bugs on and put Lysol on and shit. And then she goes to follow the store. No, I think was the one like, you're about to go start following them. She's like, well, don't you need to fold some clothes or something? Oh, I'm just trying to be helpful, and the dressing room is over there. And so they still stayed in there, and already she's letting you know that she is up here looking at y'all. Even when she pick a couple outfits of Nola to choose from. She's standing, I mean, she didn't say anything, but she was standing right there and, like, dress. I'm, like, thinking, like, unless she's supposed to take the items back, whatever, she served no purpose but set to stare to make sure these sneakers don't steal. That's pretty much what she was giving me. So, there's a couple items, but it was, like, the third one they showed, they're, like, this black dress, and she's like, I'll take it. So when it's at the register, you got $500 something plus dollars, and Chloe's like, Nola, are you sure you want to do this? You're barely able to pay your rent. Are you sure you want to spend $500 on one darn dress? And Nola again goes back to traumatization. You're not going to, so, should I be, basic bitch and shame because I'm a victim and because I want this dress, I'm a victim or something like that. She says, and I'm like, no, it's the fact that you can barely fucking afford it. Got no offense, but she's like, no, it's because you're scraping and good time scratching survivor. She's trying to get, the most expensive dish off Olive Garden, and she can only afford really ramen noodles pack, or we'll give it at least a 6-pack, okay? Chicken or beef. That's what she's trying to do, okay? So, she's like this, and she knows she can't afford it because when you have to sit there and you have to be like this, hold on, 9 times out of 10, I did a couple of damn self. Not taking 3 damn cards, something like that, but put half and half on here. You know what I'm saying? But she did 3 times. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Put it on this card, put it on this card, put it on this card. So, can we split in 3 ways? But that girl, the same bunch to get that damn sale, she sure had no problem. Swipe, 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 swipe. Okay? So she's got this, this dress on, and she's getting ready. And, she's about to spin it 3 ways, and we find out later episode she's about to wear it 3 times. So 3, 3, 3, okay? Triple threes. Okay? And 3 times to get a response that she did not want from the dress, or at least expected. Okay? Or put so much on the dress. But it showed something. Okay. Now, first she's finally got back with talking with James and everything. He's like, at the drive-in meet at this extravagant, lavish restaurant, okay? You got a nice view and stuff like that, okay? And as soon as, she still has to dress, have, long coat on with the dress. And he's even saying like, oh, I can't wait to, get you out that dress and move the dress, blah, blah, whatever. It was kind of like, there was first no problem. Then they sit down, but he's mumbling like, this, that dress though, he likes it. He likes it for his own, behind closed doors. But when it comes to um sitting there and actually you know like I said, in terms of how to view her, he feels uncomfortable. He still wants to to control, even though, like I said, he's still married and lives with his wife. He still feels like he feels some type of way and doesn't want to be seen as, perceived like she's negative, or a hoochie thought, or whatever, or a prostitute, or a call girl, or whatever. Because as soon as she said, because like I said, he was like, this is not like him. He was saying it's inappropriate for her wearing a dress. And she like, huh? And then as soon as she sits down, he's like, oh, it's a little coat. He tries to put his coat on. She like, take that off there. She felt some type of way. And he again was just saying, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then, she reminded him again because they were talking about some event. Because, like I said, she loves films. She's one of those film people. And he was talking about a scene. He is a giver of a book, and they were reading, blah, 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 talking about going to some event next year. And she reminded him, like, well, you still, you're married, okay? Dun, 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 dun. And he's like, no, it's complicated. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here separate. You know how it is. Complicated. Yeah. And she's like, and the next thing, but she's still kind of like, okay, whatever. And then he already feels some type of way about her being these other guys, even though he's in a marriage, but it's complicated. But at the same time, it's not really complicated. You want some open and closed stuff, James. That's what it is. Now, he feels some type of way that she's seeing other men, even though he has a whole wife, basically violates his vows, stuff like that, whatever. So, but he's saying he's separated, but I don't recall him even being on legal paper that he's a separate, because he's talking about, signatures and all that stuff. That's the only problem. That's all we got. So, anyways, y'all, we have where they get some wine, some nice fancy rice, and because he was like, oh, I didn't order this, and two of his partners, whoever his workers that he works with, whatever, they doing cheers at the bar, cheers up, and Nola's like, oh, should we invite him over? He's like, no, and then she collected thought about women. Why I never met any of your friends? He like, well, you never asked, whatever. And she like, oh, okay, whatever. She's like, I'm not going to be considered as your little secret. Well, I'm not saying that, blah, 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 blah. But that's technically what it is. And kind of like, in a way, Nola kind of accepted being a secret, even though she's technically been open, that she's deemed all these guys like, that's chance you have, because you will be considered the mistress or the whole whatever, considering that this man is still married and staying with his wife, even if they are at odds, depending how you look at it. Some people look at it, because he's still treating her, no, to a certain point, even if he is infatuated or got love for her or whatever. Well, you get my point. Hopefully, you don't too, but it's just the circumstances. But he still, to a way, is, having her as a mentor. He ain't like you could be like, hey, honey, home, I'm bringing my girl over, my Nola over here. Do you mind? That's not going to happen. Unless they believe in some darn freaky so, okay. What you get what I'm saying. But, so, she, they had a little dinner, and then they on their way back, and he already, like, got the driver out here, and he started talking about, you in this dress, you just had to wear this dress. But he went from basically, I can't wait to get a dress, basically letting me know it's okay for her to wear a dress, as long as if it's for him. For his eyes only, for his pleasure only. And she felt some type of way, thinking like, oh, really? So I'm okay. You're okay with this dress, but it's a problem as long as I go outside with you with this thing. But as long as I'm here to be, where you get, your rocks off, then that's okay. And she basically like, bye-bye. Too late. He like, huh? What? No, look. She like, too late. And proceed to leave. The next thing, like I said, Shinola is on her computer, and Mars, has a date with her, to this a concert, whatever. He's like, she's wore this second time where we got the Nike Jim Jordans on or something like that, and has on this jean jacket. But it is a cool look. They're on their way to the concert, whatever. And at the concert, make a little sure, it's a guys that look like Ray Tay Tone concert. and but not like a big arena, big enough where it's lit, but they're near close to stage. When Mars is dance whatever, then some guy first behind him is like behind him like, wait, you stepping my fucking judge for, but he didn't bring it to Mars' attention. Then the guy, whoever's singer, rapper, whatever, he got Nola dance a little bit on stage, but he was getting a little frisky, but Mars was able to pull her back a little bit, but the guy left her alone. He was able to dance for her, but it wasn't like disrespectful. And then the same dude is like coming to Nola doing that almost that same catch. What's up with you? Blah blah blah. Hey, whatever. And Mars like, hey, don't you sound weird? He like, ain't it past your bedtime? Blah blah blah. So Mars pushes the dude, and even Nola pushes the dude, and he falls. But it's like the concert that the song was already over with, and they kind of they didn't show like any security guards, and they just take him out, whatever. And her and Mars are walking home. I think when they're on the way to the concert or to the way to the concert, you see Spike Lee famous thing where he has people, they're walking, but they're kind of like floating. Before the hoverboard, there was Spike Lee in his famous I'm walking, but I'm floating at the same time scenery. If y'all pay attention to that, I was like, oh, that is one of Spike Lee's signatures, is the floating hoverboardish. No, we're gonna say Spike Lee because he may not want to have hoverboard, but that's kind of what reminds you because they're just floating while walking at the same time. Okay, So he again was like, you know what? Here go Mars was like, you know what? If you wouldn't have wore that dress, it's that dress, girl. We almost I'm gonna get in a fight, but you know how Mars would say as opposed to Jamie. He was just like, girls, that dress, Again, Nola felt some time away. Okay, really? If you can't handle the dress and you can't handle me, blah, blah. And you know how Mara's like, please, mommy, please, baby, please. But she had no choice but to smile. Then she kind of was off the side of the screen, and you just heard her voice. But he just like, because she's like, can handle it. And he's like, first he actually got turned on when she got a little mad at him and stuff like that. She's like, oh, this could be some good angle sex, type of look. But she had no choice but to smile. So even though she kind of brushed him off, she couldn't just like walk away without smiling and shit. So, too late for him. So, one more last person. She ends up getting in contact with Greer. They're in her bed. He's taking pictures. Some group he says is going to be bigger than Big Beatles, and they leave because he's a photographer and stuff. They leave. And he's laying up with her. So, I'm kind of confused. When she was over there, did he go over to perform some oral service or whatever? Kiss her other lips? Because he was trying to have sex with her. Or, he was letting know he was tempted to have sex. She's like, I only make love in a little bit. Like I said, it's control her cat. And that's why she only wants to have sex in her bed. It's some control thing. I hope they go more development next season about why does she only have to have love in bed and why she has had so many lovers. Which is interesting because, like I said, her parents have been married, or at least had that house since 1978, which her daddy had said. So it's interesting that she has to have so many lovers or is allergic to commitment, considering that her parents are married. Because you know how they say, like, usually, the broken homes do affect the relationships, or, or kids possibly go to situationships or whatever. It's based on what they observed, during their childhood, teenagers. That's still childhood, but you know what I mean? Just big kids with hormones and shit, and can sometimes continue on their 20s and maybe can be carried on and on further on, and maybe even on to the next generation. So it's interesting that, let's go more to the parent's story about why did she feel this way, that she is reluctant to marriage while her parents are both together. Not to say it doesn't happen, just because your parents married does not mean it's guaranteed that you are going to be married as well. But it's just interesting that she is kind of allergic to commitment, because even Jamie was trying to say, like, he was asking serious questions, that she kind of just brushes it off during the dinner scene as well. And she kind of changed the subject. Oh, like, what about this film? What about the, ooh, is that a bird at night? Is that some lightning over there? Some good lightning? So that's pretty much how she does things. So, like I said, we're going back to Greer. Okay. He was like, no, I just want to taste you, whatever. So maybe maybe it was still so. But he's like, you know what, you're sexy. Because this third time she got the dress on, but she got a nice leather jacket on with it. And he's like, let me take your pictures. Come on. And then he's like, the creepy photographer, you're just so sexy right now. I just wanna, this and that. Smile, make love to the camera. You're giving me a hard on, yes. Just give it to me. And then she's just spilling more violence. She's like, could you stop? And he's even like this, still taking pictures. She even had to walk, I'm sick of this shit. Had to leave. And she walks away. So she's towards the end. She's put, the dress on on a frame, one of the things. I don't know what she's going to do with the dress. Well, like I said, I'm just repeating. Of course, I already know, but I'm just repeating. Just she looks like she's going to use this part of her artwork. That 500 something dress. Okay, but she got her money where is to. I can't even say the money's where she hasn't worn it enough. And every time she's wore it, it's got like a negative response or it triggers again the assaults and stuff. But it's a lesson learned. Like Jamie wants control. Mars, to me, like I said, wasn't cringy, but again, like I said, Mars is the goofy one, but it's concerned. And also, it was a scene. They started playing one of Brian McKnight's classic hits, "Anytime," which is a classic. And here you got all these three guys who are wondering, and you could tell are missing Nola. At the same time, they're showing them, and they seem to be missing her. And it's kind of like, wow, this is, guys can be about this, about girls, whatever, and, interesting, or, and just over just one female. But, hey, they're all sitting there all lonely. Do you ever think of reaching out to me? They really was, kind of mad that Nola kind of cut him off. So, there also was one more other scene. Oh, by the way, Nola went back to, of course, fixing up, the asshole Onyx, just, just a mess that he did to her artwork. And there was also another scene that Mecha goes to see, what is it, Willie Wynn, whatever Fat Patrol's character is. And she says, and again, he's saying that she's beautiful. And he's trying to explain, like, in a way, like, she already makes enough money by that guy. And because there's a guy who kind of sits up front who has, like, two hooks of the arms, has two fake arms or whatever. But he tips, I think that's the guy that's named Eddie. And he's like, he tips, but she's like, she gets more money on stage. But at the same time, he's trying to make it seem like, okay, you fine how where you are. But to a certain point, she ain't fine enough to make money for him on stage. You get what I'm saying? Like, he thinks like she's good to a certain point. But she's letting me know, like, can you give me the money to invest in getting these butt injections? And he said, have you done the research? And she says, yeah, I talked to my girls having and, doing research. You thinking like, as if she's getting these shots, but getting the shots like in, doctor's office. But, so he, she's making negotiations with him to get the money to start getting these butt shots. Because again, I think maybe she would have put the butt shots on hold or thought about them later on or not get them so quickly or whatever if it wasn't also a thing of a value, number one, to get more money and, and overall, also because I'm thinking a second reason because of how she feels that also will bring the tension that, she can get, because that's what's expected of her because of her being a black woman, and also because of the failed relation, she feels that it'll make her value as being a potential white potential better if she has the appropriate shape. So, anyways, that's like I said at the end. Everybody said anytime, and it pretty much ends with just Nola looking like she's just like this. I'm surprised I didn't have her smoking the joint, but that's pretty much how it kind of fades and ends towards, you hear anytime, and that's how the episode ends with the credits. I think I got about everything. Sorry if I didn't get everything, but hugs and loves, and have a pleasant week, pleasant night, pleasant weekend, and I'll see y'all in the next video.